Lee May. Thank you so much. Now, I know I look like I shouldn't be doing a dry bar comedy special. That's because I know I look like I would steal your car or your catalytic converter. Now, I flew here all the way from Ohio. Really? For Ohio? Have you been to Ohio? I mean, come on. But it was my very first time on a plane with a crippling fear of heights. And during takeoff, I held my girlfriend's hand. It's now broken. But before my flight, I watched all of these videos on YouTube and TikTok to get myself prepared for the experience. And it was just a bunch of Gen Z millennials spouting nonsense. Like, there was this one guy who was on a plane and he kept looking out the window and he was like, "Bro, dude." And I was like, what kind of Lord of the Rings elvish language is this? Speak English. And then there was this a girl who kept just doing this on the plane, just. I was like, are you on an airplane runway or a model runway? What am I supposed to do here? But I know y'all are hearing my southern accent, and I bet you're asking yourself, I bet he knows all the good recipes for cooking squirrel. But I'm from a little town in southern Ohio that borders West Virginia and Kentucky. Yeah, it's a melting pot. If that melting pot was made out of stolen copper. Now, if you don't know much about Ohio, Ohio is kind of like the middle child of the United States of America. You know it's there, you just don't pay much attention to it. Now, Ohio has something called county fairs, right? Now, county fairs are a lot like Walmart, but outside. You'll still see people wearing their pajamas, dragging a screaming toddler by the arm, and not wearing deodorant. I live 45 minutes northwest of Columbus, Ohio. It's Amish country. And Amish people are jerks. When I'm not doing comedy, I work in nursing. I'm a frontline worker. And the nursing facility where I work, we have an Amish patient. And part of my job is helping the residents get ready for the day. So I was doing my Amish patient's hair the best I can because I'm a guy. Right? Like, I can only do a woman's hair so good. So I was just doing her hair, Her daughter walks in, takes one look at me and goes, "Well, I've never seen a man do a woman's hair before." And I was like, "Well, honey, you can do a lot of things if you have electricity." I was raised in a holler. Y'all know what a holler is? You don't? Well, just to clarify, holler is something my mom doesn't do to me anymore. Now, a holler is a valley between two hills, okay? It's a place where cell phone service and hygiene go to die. Now, our school bus in the holler was basically a pickup truck. There was more chickens on that bus than kids. In fact, the chicken I sat next to got better grades than I did. I got my GED, don't worry. But my prom date was a girl who chewed tobacco. Her corsage was a Mountain Dew can pinned with duct tape. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to prom. She got sidetracked by a roadside sale for discount fireworks. But seriously, dating in the holler, that's a whole different ball game. Like, if you find someone that you like, you automatically have to go to the doctor to get a blood test to see if you're related. But we didn't have dating apps where I came from. I grew up in the 80s, 90s. We didn't have eHarmony. We had eHoller. Now, we couldn't swipe left or right? Like, we just had to go to each trailer and just knock on the door and be like, hey, can Martha go to the tractor pull in West Virginia? It was a different time, but I lived in a trailer. And not those fancy double-wide trailers you might find in Alabama. I'm talking the single-wide kind. The kind that look like a sleeve of crackers. You'd look at the trailer I grew up in and you'd be like, that has to be the place where they shot the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I'm a man, obviously. Talk like a man, look like a man. But I'm not much of a man. Like, I don't know how to change a tire. Yep, I'm as worthless as a Kardashian. But when I was growing up, my dad would always be like, hey, Lee, let me show you how to change a tire. And I was like 4 years old, and I was like, but I'm watching Superman. And then he'd be like, well, what are you going to do if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have a flat tire? Then what, smart guy? And I was like, well, I guess I'll call Superman. And then he grounded me. I'm Generation X, graduated high school barely in the 90s. You heard of Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit, right? Now I'm getting to the age where it's starting to smell like Icy Hot. Heard a whistle back there. That's kind of weird for Icy Hot. Like, ooh, Icy Hot. There's a man. But I recently got invited to go to my high school class reunion. And I don't feel like I should need to go to that, right? Like, if I wanted to see the people I went to high school with, I would just go to the county jail. But, anyone here got tattoos? All right, yeah, there's my people there. I got a lot of tattoos, as you can tell. The last tattoo I got really hurt. I just couldn't get used to the needles and the pain and all that. And I was just lying there on the table. And I was like, Lee, you're pushing 50, you're 48. Yeah, I know I don't look it. Thank you. And I was just lying there thinking, or saying, who are you trying to impress getting these tattoos at this stage in your life? And then my cellmate at the state prison was like, hold still. Oh, you're getting such a pinch. Now, where you have a tattoo says a lot about you, right? If you have a tattoo on your face, that means you work at Waffle House. If you have a tattoo on your neck, that means you celebrate every album ever released by Kid Rock. Now, if you have a tramp stamp, which means a lower tattoo on your back, that means you shop at Walmart in your pajamas. And have several baby daddies. Now, I got my first tattoo when I was 40. Waited, X amount of years to get one. Just wanted to wait till I got one, the right one. And I'm proud to say it's a tattoo of my daughter's name and her birthday. She's 14. And a lot of people were like, well, Lee, you're just going through your midlife crisis early. And if that was true, then getting a tattoo is a lot cheaper than buying a Corvette. And a lot less creepy than dating a college girl. Now, a lot of you college girls in the audience, there's some ladies here that are in your 20s. Some of you are looking for a sugar daddy. I'm broke. I can't be anyone's sugar daddy. Now, if you all wanted something from Rent-A-Center, I got your 90 days same as cash, boo. But I watch a lot of dumb reality shows on TV, and the dumbest reality show I have ever seen in my life is one on MTV called Catfish. Has anyone here ever heard of Catfish? Yeah, several of you. I like to call Catfish by what it should be called. How stupid are you? Now, for example, if a lady who looked like you would message a guy who looked like me, I'd have a couple of questions. First of all, how much money do you want? Second, what part of Nigeria are you from? But I've been banned from a couple of dating apps. It's nothing nefarious or anything like that. Don't worry. Even though I kind of look like someone like that, right? But I was banned from the trailer park of dating apps called Meet Me. Has anyone here heard of Meet Me? I guess I'm the only lonely person up here. All right. But I got banned from this app, and I matched up with this woman, right? And I decided to break the ice. I was like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, oh, not so good. I was like, oh, here we go. So, I took the bait, right? And I was like, well, what's wrong? And she was like, well, I'm having trouble paying my electric bill this month. Yeah. And I was sitting there thinking, well, I don't know, get a job. I don't know what to tell you. And she was like, Lee, I would do anything if you would help me pay my electric bill this month. And I was like, anything? All right. So I was like, well, why don't you come over to my house and we'll, Hallmark movie and chill. Or whatever you kids say these days. And all of a sudden it was like delete, block, report, kicked off of Meet Me. And I guess it's true what some older people say these days, no one wants to work for their money anymore. Any fans of the Beatles here? Yeah, several Beatles fans. I love it. If you remember, back in the late 60s, John Lennon once said, all you need is love. But for me, love came with court costs. I have, and this is true, I have an ex-wife, a baby mama, and another ex-wife. So clearly, they're the problem. But I was raised, conventional Christian Baptist, in Ohio, Southern Baptist. And my mom is 76 years old. She still gets around. She still drives. Ain't that awesome? Yeah. And she says, God is everywhere. Y'all believe that? Awesome, awesome. But you know what's also everywhere? Dollar General. But I've had weight issues all my life. Anyone here also have weight issues, you know? Yeah, several of you. It's hard losing weight. Losing weight is very, very hard. And when you lose weight, you're not going to look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Vin Diesel or Caitlyn Jenner. You're going to look like me, doughy and still a Snickers bar away from wearing a bra. But these celebrities who go on these weight loss journeys, you know, like Oprah with the new weight loss drug, I forget the name of it, starts with an O. I can't pronounce it, I'm from Ohio, I don't know. But these celebrities, they have dietitians, personal trainers, and money. I'm broke. I've got Siri. And when I asked Siri, how do you lose weight? Siri came back with, quit eating, fat boy. But I was a fat kid growing up, obviously. And my dad used to try and scare me into losing weight, right? Like he would say things like, Lee, if you don't lose weight, you're gonna die of a heart attack. And I was like 8. And then he would say things like, Lee, if you don't lose weight, we're gonna put on your tombstone, here lies Lee, nice and sweet. He died because he had too much to eat. And my dad ate stuff like potato chips, pork rinds, he had gout, and he died of a heart attack back in 2005. So you want to know what I put on his tombstone? Here lies my dad. He's never coming back. He died because he's the one that had the heart attack. Now, I'm a metalhead. I listen to heavy metal music. Yeah. And one of the criticisms about heavy metal music is that the lyrics are often hard to understand, right? But I'm here to help you decipher some of those lyrics. Because some of those lyrics are a lot of yelling and screaming and a lot of what's called Cookie Monster vocals, which means the singer sounds like Cookie Monster. So I'll give you a couple of examples. There's a band called Slipknot who has a song called Wait and Bleed. And one of the lyrics goes, which loosely translated means, I would like to have a piece of cake. Now, there's also a band called Slayer. Yeah. Slayer has a song called Rain in Blood. And one of the lyrics goes, which loosely translated means, why yes, I would love to go to grandmother's house. There's also a band called Death Angel. And they have a song called Where the Slime Live. And one of the though that song's lyrics goes, which loosely translated means I cannot wait for Easter dinner. And one of my favorite bands, Black Sabbath.
Yes.
All right. It's a hip crowd. Black Sabbath has went through many singers over the years, and one of their songs is called After All the Dead. And one of their lyrics goes, which loosely translated means, I really need to stop singing like this. My throat's getting sore. Does anyone here have a throat lozenge? Want to keep going? There's a band called Megadeth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they have a song called Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? And one of their lyrics, and I'm paraphrasing here, so bear with me. Which loosely translated means, sure, I'll come over and babysit your daughter. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Good night.